Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Ram, Ram, Hare 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 Krishna. Ram, Hare Krishna, Ram, Hare Krishna, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Ram, Ram. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna. Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Ram, Ram. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna. Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya 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 Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Advaita Chanda Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Advaita Chanda Bhakta Vrinda. Reading from Caritamrta, Madhya Lila, chapter 20. The Lord instructs Sanatana Goswami. We're reading the translation for text 128 and 129, and then do the lesson on 130. Text 128. The astrologer asked, "Why are you unhappy? Your father was very wealthy, but he did not disclose his wealth to you because he died elsewhere." Text 129. Just as the words of the astrologer Sarvagya, that's not an all knowledge, all knowing, gave news of the poor man's treasure, the Vedic literatures advise one about Krishna consciousness when one is inquisitive to know why he is in a distressed material condition. Sarvagera Vakya Muladana Anubanda Sarvashastra Upadeshe Shri Krishna Sambandha. Sarvagera Vakya Muladana Anubanda Sarvashastra Upadeshe Shri Krishna Sambandha. Sarvagera Vakya Muladana Anubanda Sarvashastra Upadeshe Shri Krishna Sambandha. Translation, word for word. Sarvagira of the astrologer. Vakya, by the assurance. Muladhana, with treasure. Anubandha, connection. Sarvashastra, all Vedic literatures. Upadeshe, instruct. Sri Krishna, Lord Sri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Sambandha, central connection. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Prabhupada. By the words of the astrologer, the poor man's connection with the treasure was established. Similarly, the Vedic literature advises us that our real connection is with Sri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Purport. In the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7, text 26, Sri Krishna says, Vidaham samapustani vatmanani charjuna ravishani chavutani mantu veda dashana. Translation, O Arjuna, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, I know everything that has happened in the past and all that is happening in the present and all things that are yet to come. I also know all living entities, but me no one knows. Thus, Krishna knows the cause of the distressed conditioned soul. He therefore descends from his original position to instruct the conditioned soul and inform him about his forgetfulness of his relationship with Krishna. Krishna exhibits himself in his relationships in Vrindavan and at the battle of Kurukshetra, so that people will be attracted to him and will return home, back to Godhead. Krishna also says in the Bhagavad Gita that he is the proprietor of all universes, the enjoyer of everything, and he and the friend of everyone. Bhuktaram yagya tapasam Savaloka Maheshwaram Suridam Savaloka. That is chapter 5, text 29. If we revive our original intimate relationship with Krishna, our distressed condition in the material world will be mitigated. Everyone who is trying to adjust to the distressed conditions of material existence, the basic problems cannot be solved unless one is in an intimate relationship with Krishna. Repeat the translation. By the words of the astrologer, By the words of the astrologer, the poor man's connection with the treasure was established. Similarly, the Vedic literature advises us that our real connection is with Sri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Manchalam prayers. Namajananti mirandasya dilanjana shalakaya chakshumilitam yena tasmai Shri Guruve namaha. Chaitanya Manovistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamanam Dadati Swapamidikam Deham Shri Guru Shri Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnamcha Rupam Shagadatam Sahagana Raghunatam Ditam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishnu Anjana Gurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Shabanu Sukadevi Panamami Hari Pure Yatam Surapupango Mama Manda Mate Gati Sarasa Padam Bubu Radha Madana. I was born in darkest sickness, but my spiritual master opened my eyes to the brightest torch of absolute knowledge and pure love, and therefore offering my humble obeisances. Mukam karoti vachalam bangu langa te girinda kripadam ham bangu Shri Gurun Jivitam. I also offer my humble obeisances unto the spiritual master, my spiritual master, the divine grace, Peace Bhakti Swami Prabhupada. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namo. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Vistesha Shunyavadi Pashtacha Devatarine. but not least, from humble obeisance unto all Vaishnavas, by your mercy I shall speak the truth, which is always kind and always useful. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. The theme of this chapter, this text rather, from Caritamrta, is very connected with today. Connected is being the word connectedness. What was a very relevant text to tell us that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, says that he knows everything that's happened in the past and all that's happening in the present and all things that are yet to come.
Why is this? Because, and what has it got to do with being connected? What the Prabhupada, I think he is trying to explain, or I don't think, I'm sure, that Krishna has always, or was always connected to us. He's always connected to us, and he will
always be connected to us. And this word connected is very important. As we see today, we're celebrating Govardhana Hill and also Diwali. Now, if you look at the Latin translation of religion, it comes from the word religare, to reconnect.
Yes, we have to connect to Krishna, but Prabhupada always stressed the fact that it is not only Krishna that should be the object of your love and your connection, but everything that is part and parcel of him. So it's everybody here, everybody outside in this world, every living entity. Now, please, so Prabhupada is trying to tell us that from this verse from chapter 7 of the Bhagavad Gita, that we see the present and we always plan the future. But Krishna actually sees the future and he plans the present. And he knows what is going to happen to us. And I was once asked by a devotee, he says, if Krishna knows everything, then he knows that we all go back to Godhead, and at some point or other. The problem is because Krishna can see the future, he knows that we're not going to go back to Godhead if we don't reconnect with him. Now, connection has a dual-edged knife or sword, because it can be positive as we are in Krishna consciousness, which is a connection, or it can mean attachment. And we know very well that what defines all of us is our desires. It's our desires that have created this manifestation called the material world. Now, the attachments that we have, or connections to the material world, are pretty strong. Do you know what they are? First attachment. This
the material body.
The body. Yes, very good. That's the biggest attachment, and that is really down the fact that we are ignorant of our spiritual body, and the facts surrounding our spiritual body. Now, the second attachment? Family, yes. Very, very good. It's a very, very, very powerful thing. It's this is this is another form of bodily attachment, because you see people around you as what you are, is your destiny and your real life, but it isn't. I think I was once told that by my spiritual master that we are in the family, and even in this congregation and together being here, it's because of our good karma. It's got nothing to do that, because the soul cannot produce another soul. Only Krishna can produce souls. So what we do in the material world has got nothing to do with the spiritual aspect of ourselves. Now the third attachment that we have, which is very strong and we're connected, it connects us to the material world, is this is mine. Our possessions, our material possessions, including the land of our birth, our country. We think that's ours. So things like house, furniture, property, business, and all that. These are material possessions. The fourth attachment or connection we have with this material world is we say we have to study to get to have it. It's material science. Yeah, material science remains a mystery without any spiritual light. When there's material science without spiritual light, it becomes an attachment. Yeah, we know something, but what do we really know? We know something that has been said to us by another living entity. Yeah, that living entity does not have any spiritual light. And that material thing is a useless attachment or connection too. And the last attachment is religious forms and holy rituals, without understanding who and knowing who God really is for His devotees. We can be attached to even our savior. We can say, this is my savior. I do this well. I must do it well. And yet we forget that it is not yours. It is God's mercy. Yeah, your service or whatever you do, when you serve the deities on the altar, it is by God's mercy that you're doing that. For example, cooking for lunch or breakfast or dinner. It's not mine or because I happen to be doing this here, as you all know. It is God's mercy that I have this opportunity to serve God on the altar and serve His parts and parcels, you devotees. Yeah. Now the going on with this connection, we going away from this the negative side of connections through attachments. We have to realize that Krishna is trying to connect to us all the time, right? It is us that put a block on this connection. Now it's like it's like calling a utilities company and then you put on hold. They tell you you're in the queue. You can either hang up or try later or hold on. Now, in other cases, there's a block. We tend to put a block on Krishna. It's the reason why we're still here. If you've got your WhatsApp on your smartphone, you can block a number out, for example, so that the line of communication is disconnected. But Krishna doesn't give up. He continues to do that, and this connection is manifested by Krishna's love for us, and this love is blatantly expressed by Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita twice. First in the 9th chapter and in the 18th chapter, in 934 and 1865. Yeah? These two lines which repeat themselves word for word. Mamana Baba Makatau, Yaji Namaskuru. Krishna tells us, what does he tell us? He tells us, always think of me and be my devotee. What he's really telling us is that he always thinks about us and he's devoted to us. Yeah? And this is why he repeats it twice to Arjuna, to tell us that he's always there waiting for us. And if you ever get a chance to read a very beautiful book by Sanatana Goswami called the Brihad Bhagavad-amrita, at the end of the last book, Krishna tells Gokuma, he says, what took you so long? I've been waiting here. And this is what Krishna did. He's waiting there and he's connecting to us. It's just us that walk our souls are there with the Paramatma. The Paramatma said, come home. And we got these headphones on and we're listening to heavy material music, not ignoring God all the time. So the thing is, how can we connect to Krishna? We connect every day, don't we? How do we connect with him? Japa, very good. That's a personal connection. My spiritual master once says Japa is a good connection, but then it's like connecting yourself with Krishna with a rope. But the scissors or the knife of your mind can cut the connection, so we can be distracted very easily. And the best connection we can ever have is kirtan. Why? Because kirtan, we become like a security chain for a motorcycle, made of steel. Impossible to smash or to cut easily. You take a what you call it, a special kind of sword to cut it open. Now so that's one way. What else can we do to connect ourselves to God? Prayer, yes. This is all in Prahlad's what we call instructions in the 7th canto, where he tells about Shravanam Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam and Padasevanam. We also have many, these are little things that we can do. What else can we do to connect ourselves?
Rendering loving devotion.
Yes, yeah, that's very good.
Honoring prasadam.
That's even better. Yeah, we can talk, we can communicate, we connect with each other. It's connectedness, because we are so. Prabhupada talks about the 4 defects that we have. We're born with, basically, in the Upanishad. Now these defects actually impair our connection with God. So we actually talk. We then have sangha, and this is one of the important things. We have association. I think it's guru, sadhu, and shastra. These are very important things we can use to connect to God. We may think we're not connected because it doesn't show on the screen that you're not connected to the internet. Try again, or please check your connection. But it's because of our material limits that we feel that we're not connected. Now, one thing we should do is always ask ourselves, are we connected? The thing is that it's not easy to be connected because we're very distracted. We all think that our minds is a stable organ with Maya orbiting this mind, but it is not, because Maya is actually eating, sleeping, and playing in your mind. Yeah, it's there all the time. It wakes up before you wake up, and it doesn't go to sleep when you go to sleep. Yeah? And Maya is your mind's nicotine, it's your caffeine, it's your fix for the day. It's there all the time. We're very, very reliant on it. But if you actually stop putting yourself as the important center of your life and put Krishna instead, that's where you will find that Maya does not have any effect on you, it cannot influence you. Just remember that Krishna is there holding onto the line, trying to connect to you patiently and lovingly. So now today I mentioned Govardhan Puja in Diwali, and you may ask what is the connection there. It's incredible connection. I think I'm very fortunate. It's God's mercy that these three things happen together. Govardhan Puja, Diwali, and this lesson, this tact and connection. Why? Because Govardhana is one of Krishna's leelas, where he holds up this mountain to protect and shelter everyone, and you find that everybody comes under the same shelter and protection and take refuge. And this is the only possibility, or rather, it's giving us the possibility to connect with each other and take a common refuge and shelter in God. Now, the other thing is Diwali. Is also known as the festival of lights. Now, where is the connection? Well, light actually connects us, helps to connect us with the object that we cannot see in the dark. Yeah? Light is so important. I mean, if you stumble out of the ashram in the middle of the night to go and get a glass of water, if you didn't turn on the light, you would never reach your object. Well, you would probably after great difficulty. So that's how I saw Diwali today, or Diwali. Now what you need to bring into your life is to stay this discipline of trying to stay connected with God. I call it the 3 B's. Yeah, to stay connected with God. B is not meaning burfi and baklava and baturas. It's the 3 B's are be thankful. Yeah, always be mindful of God and be joyful with God. Because if you do not keep that mentality or that attitude, you can easily forget and get disconnected from God. So always remember that the connection is there eternally. Whatever happens in this material world is a temporary, how do you call it, blip in the connection. How can we advance in our spiritual connection? Good question. I was asking myself, and I think it's actually in the Chaitanya Caritamrta, in the lessons of probably this chapter with the Lord instructs Sanatana Goswami. First of all, is sambandha. Okay, 3 things. Sambandha is to establish your original connection to God. Yeah. And we have already spoken about what we can do. We can chant, we can pray, we can read. Abhideya is the next one. Abhideya is to act on that according to that relationship. So we have to behave and relate to God in the way that He, that is conducive to our relationship. Don't always expect to see God. I remember my guru telling me, you really are not qualified to see God. With this material eyes, you can definitely not see so easy. You have to do things that allows Krishna to see you. Make yourself visible. Don't hide in the shadows of disconnection. And then remember your prayojana, the last word, which is the goal of life. The goal of life is
Glorifying death.
right?
Glorifying death.
Glorifying death. The goal of life. Wow.
Remembering Krishna as the
That is right? Come to it. Yes, it's actually prema, isn't it? Maybe what we were saying when we were doing before we chant. That is the only object we have. You said about that remembering God. Yes, that's from chapter 8. It's yes. Remember, one who remembers me at the time of leaving his body will attain me. I think that's what Krishna says. 8.5. It is also and this. That's the reason why we have so many rules and regulations. We sometimes think, oh God, it's so severe. It's an austerity. Many people don't accept it. For example, the 4 regulative principles we have. What are they? They are: don't eat meat, fish, or eggs. Don't gamble. Don't intoxicate. Indulge in illicit sex, for example. Now, the Padma Purana explains to you that all these things are geared to help you remember God and never forget Him. Why do we want to remember God when we leave our bodies? Because we don't want to have another body which is not conducive to being a devotee in the next life, for example. Yeah? Obviously, all of us hope and pray that we don't come back into another body. So in order to do that, you have to make your connection really be established. And I'll stop there. Any questions or comments? Yeah.
Those were nice points I had. I didn't quite catch what the connection was between Diwali and Govinda Puja.
It's their relationship with this lesson, but being connected. Govardhana is Krishna's, one of Krishna's leela, where he gets everybody to connect with each other under the same umbrella or same shelter and refuge. Just like we are all here, we're taking refuge in this temple room or this temple in its whole complex. And that was Govardhana. Diwali is the fact that the light, the festival of light is actually a connecting instrument or factor that helps us to connect to any object that we wish to find in the dark, the darkness of this material world, the darkness of our material existence, for example.
Yeah, I think we are connected to Krishna, but as a stranger. And what we're trying to do is establish a relationship where we listen to your friend.
Yeah, as a stranger, but then I think some of us who are not so lucky are stranger than strange in our connection. We are all connected. We are connected, whether it's directly or indirectly or completely indirect. Just that very few of us actually realize this. And, self-realization and Krishna consciousness is actually it's not the start, it's the biggest connection, because if you actually look at all the religions or other traditions where they say they're connected to God, they actually are connected, but in a very minute way. For example, I come from a very Catholic background. I thought I found that I was never happy because I was not connected to God at all. I was connected to a system where there was also a class system within the congregation, and I found that really disturbing because when I was a boy, I was 6 years old, and I was so how do you call it? confused because every Sunday the priest would actually tell us all that we were all equal in God's eye. And I asked my mother, why is it that we're all equal in God's eye? Only some of us get to sit in the front 2 rows, front 2 pews, with a red robe and gold, not gold, but how do you call it, polished brass hooks, and it said reserved. Why reserved? If everyone's equal, there is no reservation. Anybody can come to God. So I was told not to be subversive. So this is the whole point of our following the regular principles and reading and associating is to keep that connection lamp burning. So it will not fizzle out. And that's why even if we don't live in the temple and we live outside, we should try to frequent each other, try to be in touch. We do not have to isolate ourselves from the world. It's our duty actually to try and propagate Krishna consciousness, because this is the greatest service we can do to all other living beings, as all of you do on Saturday evening. We have this Om Sudom program. I think it's a wonderful program. And the other things that you do, you travel to other cities in Scotland. This is the connection that Krishna wants, because you are the instrument of his to connect to everyone and everything. Any other questions, comments, or bad tomatoes? Yes, problem.
Thank you very much for very enlightening. Yes, really connecting. Could you just mention the 3 B's you mentioned? Be grateful, the 3 B's.
Be grateful, be mindful, and be joyful. Yeah, it's very easy rules to follow, I think. Ishan, probably you want to say something?
At the start, you were talking about how we shouldn't be attached to our service.
Yeah.
So I heard from Caritamrta, one of what he's saying, we should have possessiveness of our service, we should be attached to it, and we should see it as ours.
Yes, that is what Kadama Maharaj was talking about, is spiritual attachment. Because usually, and this is happening in all the temples I've been, we get so attached, we think it's your service, my service. That is a material attachment. Yeah? It's not a spiritual attachment. And being attachment, it's just like the 3 roads to hell: lust, anger, and greed. We all say, well, if anger is a bad thing because it destroys compassion, and what is Nishingadev doing? He goes ape, and he wants to destroy Hiranyakashipu. That is spiritual anger. Because why? He's not angry for himself. He's angry for the treatment that Prahlad Maharaj is getting, and that is different. So likewise, when you do a seva that is yours, you possess, because you know that is your service that you can do for other people.
Obviously, something, if you're materially attached to your service, then you'll not be inclined, like someone says, maybe some books you should do. So, I have to do this because you're using that service to hide behind doing another service. So the elements of surrender is that's not just attachment. The person is doing it because he's surrendering whatever he's actually doing.
That's one thing I really appreciated when I received from Prabhupada Rama, Prabhu, an agreement for my service here. This is one of them, to be actually available for anything and everything. You cannot say, look, I only do that, and I think that's really wonderful, because you tell your connection to God is like God. It's not limited. Yeah, it's we should be able to do anything and everything for Krishna, even though we can't do it perfectly like some other. For example, I could never do what you guys do in your preaching service, but I would try. Because even though I think what you do is an excellent example, but you have to give it a go. You can't just say, "Oh, I can't do it." I remember Guru Kadam, Prabhu came up to me and said, "Look, now that you're doing your work, you're doing seva in the Pujari kitchen, not Pujari room, green kitchen. Can you do garlands as well?" I said, "Yeah, why not?" He said, "Isn't that Mataji's?" So I said, "It's not. There's no difference." Prabhupada said there's no difference between Mataji's and Prabhu's. In fact, he said that we should address Mataji's as Prabhu's. We're all Prabhu's. And I think if you speak to Govinda Dasi, who's Prabhupada's disciple, she'll expand on that. So I can't. So that's something very important. You should never get attached. Is that a good answer?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I felt that we can see our connection with Krishna, but how connected we are to the spiritual master. I was wondering if you could maybe comment on how to become more connected to the spiritual master.
Yes. I mean, Shastra says that your guru is Krishna's representative in this material world. It is there. Guru is there. In fact, you could say Sri Guru. Yeah. We can't really see Krishna, as I said before. So Guru is the physical presence of Krishna. Just as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is instructing Sanatana Goswami, your Guru is doing the same about Krishna, for Krishna to you. You asked, how can you increase your connection? You can increase your connection by doing anything that he needs from you that you're capable of doing. But I know your Guru is no more physically present, but by always keeping in touch to his Vani, what his instructions were, and to your God brothers and God sisters, and your God brothers and sisters is not limited to the disciples under Maharaj's family. It's everybody here, everybody that is in the Krishna consciousness. You try to serve them, and then what you're doing when you're doing your preaching service in the university or Glasgow and the Saturday programs doing kirtan for everybody, that will increase your connection with your Guru. The Guru is always there like Krishna. He's never gone. It's like Prabhupada, and Prabhupada said when he left this world, before he left this world, he says, if you really want to show how much you love me, then love all your God brothers and sisters and serve them. This is what you're doing. So I don't think you're doing anything wrong. Just continue that road. Is that okay? Do you want something more? you can ask him then not have a tattoo on your heart. Do you want to ask something? I forgot your name. Sorry, Renz.
So at the beginning you mentioned that so we have our opportunity to render the service is here in Krishna consciousness, the devotional service, right? So it's because of our good karma, or
yes, obviously it's God's mercy also. It's not just our good karma; it's God's mercy that you are. Because God knows your past, your present, and your future. God never makes a bad investment. Okay. It's not you're not a stock market commodity. He knows that you have been through your previous lives that you were going in the right direction, and he puts us all together because it is said, and I don't know, I can't remember, not my guru said, but one of my godbrothers said, that souls don't travel alone. We travel in groups because we've known each other already in some other form. Like Arjuna was told by Krishna, you and I have been friends for a long time. Well, all of us are friends, have been friends for a long time. We try together because Rama always said, quoted that famous, what you call it, proverb, English proverb, united we stand, divided we fall. You know, so because God knows that this nucleus that we have, we would be stronger than we would be with anybody else. And so it's everything that Krishna does is perfect. It's never what you want, it's what you need. Yeah. Krishna gives you. Yeah.
Like we also studied in Bhagavad Gita, and I think you also mentioned this in the class today. Thank you for the wonderful class today. That we have our desires, and whatever we get is results of our desire.
Yeah, but it's not as clear cut as that, is it? Because it's just like the three gunas. The three gunas is not you're good, you're passionate, or you're ignorant. It's not that, because they're like the three principal colors in painting: blue, red, and yellow. There are nuances, mixtures, and we cannot count because we're not. Similarly, it's just not this good karma, but it's also it involves God's mercy and what kind of level of your karma you have and all that. We don't know that, because if we did, we would all be traumatized. The luggage of our karma. Forget the past. We live in the present.
No, and like, but my question was like, if what we get is the result of our desires,
Yeah.
and our desires are independent.
Yeah, but then your desires are also mixed into your karma, isn't it? You carry forward or bring forward your certain desires. You cannot. Do you know accounting? Accounting brought forward in the ledger. You carry forward and you bring forward when you come to the present. And we bring forward a lot of things that we can never understand. We just do not have the capacity, and especially in Kali Yuga. We are really worse than donkeys. We really are. We think we're smart, but we're not really. Yes, because our desires are very strong. Because if I think it's in the third chapter of Gita also. Kama esha krodha esha. Now the desires is where everything begins. And then it progresses, and we've been here for millions or billions of years. I can't imagine. So these desires have been, created, fed with the gunas, and then some are mitigated and some become worse. Yeah. So, and I hope that answers your question. Okay. Anything else? Or we all go on our favorite design, Prasada. Okay, thank you very much.
Jai. Thanks.